Big day for the Gators as they pick up a commitment along the defensive line, and the positive momentum on the trail continues to pick up. Let's talk about that in today's video presented to you by BetUS. Stephon Shivers commits to the Gators after being in the swamp on Saturday afternoon for that LSU game. Guys, could our defensive line had put on a better show for recruits? I don't think so. LSU had previously only given up 6 sacks on the season. That puts them at 4th in the nation, number 1 in the SEC. And I think Stephon liked what he saw. This guy is a 6'4.5", 380-pound defensive lineman from Humboldt, Tennessee. That is a big boy. He's a 3-star prospect everywhere but ESPN, who does have him rated as a 4-star. We know that Billy Napier is really good at kind of discovering talent prior to them really rising in the rankings. So I definitely think this is a possibility here as well. We had Blake from Swamp 247 on the show this morning, and he was certainly giving some hints that UF might be in a really good spot here. This isn't the only good news that we are expecting out of the weekend, and I dropped more of it over on Patreon. So go to patreon.com/AlliePeak to see what else I'm expecting. Let's talk a little bit more about Stephon Shivers, recently decommitted from Georgia. So this is kind of what we were talking about during the Jones commitment video, where, it was great that we snagged Jones, and it's awesome to beat out Florida State for a recruit. But Florida State's down much worse than Florida is. When you know that the rise is really coming is when you start to beat out schools like Georgia, guys that are sitting at the top for these top athletes, your rivals that are really clicking on all cylinders. And this is what we wanted to see. We beat out a big dog for a wanted recruit. Before I go on, I want to give a little love to BetUS. I appreciate them for their support. And, they just have really, really been a fun business to partner with this season. Don't forget, our code is YouTube150, gets you 150% bonus on your first deposit and 125% on your next 2, all up to $2,000. We appreciate BetUS for their support. Okay, back to Shivers. He is a member of 247 Sports 2025 Freaks List. He also plays basketball, and if you have been a member of this channel for very long, you know that I love multi-sport athletes. I think that that's what makes the best college football player for a multitude of reasons, and I think Billy Napier feels the same way. I think the athleticism it takes to play multiple sports, the time management it takes to be able to do it, really lends itself well to the next level. Shiver has over 1,000 points in basketball. He is a complete stud. He also has played both ways in football as well. He's played offense and defensive line. And guys, he's even taken a few snaps at running back. Can you imagine a 6'4.5", 380-pound running back? Because he's done it. I really am excited about this pickup. I think that our defensive line just showed out. I don't know how any recruit in the country watches that performance and doesn't want to be a part of that. And I have to think that the vote of confidence that Scott Strickland gave to Billy Napier going into the Texas game has had an impact on recruiting. We've already seen now 2 commitments since that has happened. I know there was a lot of positive talk by recruits in the stadium on Saturday when we beat LSU, a ranked opponent that we haven't beaten in 5 years, right? So it does really feel like things are trending in the right direction for Florida. It feels like, dare I say, the tide is starting to turn for UF. You can see change on the field. You can see progress. We can talk on a different video about whether or not that progress happened fast enough or not. But listen, we look like a different team today than we looked like in the beginning of the season. And recruits are taking notice. When I talked to Blake this morning, he said that there are guys that are like, man, this team is got some longevity to it, but we can see ourselves here next year. We can see what they're building. And that's exactly what Scott Strickland was hoping would happen by that vote of confidence too. Now coaches can't negatively recruit Florida by saying he won't be here in 2025. We know that's not the case. He will be the head coach of the University of Florida in 2025. And you couple that with the progress that's happening on the field, I think recruits can start to see that maybe there is more stability than they thought. And that's a good thing. People want to be Gators. I think we're going to have some good news coming sometime soon. I know that there was a lot of good talk out of that game. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed to the Patreon just in case we got any news to report anytime soon. And of course, signing day is just around the corner. So we'll have lots of stories there for that as well. I want to thank once again BetUS for partnering with us on this video. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Big day for the Gators. It's always a good day when we pick up a recruit. It's an even better day when we pick up a recruit that a rival wanted. So this is a good day to be a Gator. Hope you guys have a great night.